So in this final tutorial on modules, the last thing I want to talk to you about is I want to talk to you about module organization, because from a student perspective, there's a lot going on right here. And it might be that you have your module broken down into separate portions. Maybe you want your students to read all of the documents first before they do anything related to reports or quizzes. And maybe you also want them to be aware of what is the stuff that will prepare them versus the homework they have to do versus the exams or quizzes they have to take. So in this tutorial, I want to talk about module organization and essentially how you can better organize your modules so that students can look at them and kind of know exactly what's going on. So to do this, we're going to now use the final category here that we were looking over or overlooking, and that is text headers. So let's say there is something in my module that I consider to be homework. Well, I'm going to set that as the header. So I'm going to say homework. And let's say that this lab report is that homework. So I'm going to drop it below it. Okay. Now, in addition to homework, let's say that I also have materials. So I'm going to add another text header, and I'm going to call this, let's call this resources to help you prepare for homework and quizzes. So I'm going to go ahead and add that item. There it is, and I'm going to drag this to the top because my beaker here, this PowerPoint here, those are all both considered resources that will help the student prepare for homework. I'm going to go ahead and publish both of these items. Okay. Go. All right, right now this isn't helping because there's just a bunch of green. So how can I make it to where students would see the title here and know, oh, okay, that's what these are, versus say the quiz or the lab report or the discussion? Well, this is where we're going to bring in indentations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to the 1.1 beaker, and I'm going to choose to increase the indent of that. And I'm going to do the exact same thing here for the PowerPoint. So those are now indented. Okay. Now the discussion is also homework. So there we go, and I'm going to increase the indent of both the lab report and the discussion. And now let's say this quiz is going to fall under a category of quizzes. Well, I moved it down to the bottom. I'm going to add in yet another text header called quizzes. I'll add that item at the bottom. I'll publish it. I'll drag it up, and now I'm going to indent this quiz, and there we go. So you'll notice that this helps break up the flow, and I can even increase the indent of these more if I'd like to. But this changes kind of the dynamic of this module and makes it to where a student can easily see the categories of each of these different items that are in the module. So now let's look at what this looks like under student view. So I'm going to go to settings, I'm going to go to my student view, and I'm going to jump over into that module just to see how this has changed it. So notice, from a student perspective, it gives me these very, very clear breaks where I can see, oh, these two items are under this. These two items are under this, and then this item falls under this. So this is a way you can make your modules appear clean and easy to move through so that students know, oh, these are the resources I need to look at, these are my homework assignments, and then these are my quizzes. If I had just left all of these, I would have this itemized list, but the more students move through, the more confused they might get as they proceed through those modules. Now you will notice that it doesn't really populate the full title here, so I probably want to just change this to resources maybe for homework and quizzes to emphasize to students you really need to look through this. And I can still keep these restrictions. So that's the beauty of using titles to help you better organize your modules.